Hello and welcome to Sumo Mainichi's Juryo livestream for Day 8. It's Nakabi of Natsu basho in Tokyo, Japan, May 2025. Happy Nakabi to you.
Happy Nakabi to you. Happy Nakabi to all. A beautiful day for Sumo today. We, Amy and Dave, we are going to be taking you through these Day 8 Nakabi Juryo bouts, and I cannot wait.
It's going to be awesome. Happy Nakabi to Brendan K, first and second in the chat. I'll call you equal first.
Okay,
well
yeah,
done.
well, yeah.
Thank you for coming in today to listen to and watch Juryo together. We love the sumo community who come together to watch together.
We are just wrapping up a few Makushita bouts. A couple of interesting ones, including the pleasure of seeing Mr. Sumo Chimaru on the left of your screen go around. And I think following that we'll see Enho before the Makushita is out.
Hey Kelly, hey Scott. Scott, your favourite Chimaru here. Look at that belly, that's just for you.
Just some beautiful cinematography from the camera operators at Abema TV. Thank you for generously lending us your stream today.
Chimaru up against Hama Utaka. He's 1 and 2 so far. Chimaru, the same score. I mean, how are we feeling about Chimaru ever getting back to Juryo, Willie?
Oh, well, I mean, every time I see him go around, I think probably not. Yeah. Juryo has changed quite a bit.
Yeah.
It's a different game now.
It's got a new flavour.
Yeah, it certainly does. Well, we might get a hint of it today, seeing Chimaru hitting very hard. Hama Utaka, though, knows exactly what to do. Very calm step back and slap down. So hands Chimaru his third loss.
Hama Utaka from Tokitsukaze-beya, the stable of Shodai, and Toki Hayate. He's at Makushita 8, and he's 2 and 2 now with that Harakikomi win. So at Nakabi, you do a little reevaluate. You think about how this basho is going, how Natsu basho in Tokyo, Japan is going. How's everyone feeling about it? How are you feeling about it?
Pretty good. The weather in Tokyo right now is 26 degrees Celsius, 78 degrees Fahrenheit. A little overcast, 79% humidity. It's hot for sumo today, and the man on your screen at the moment, Enho, drawing an enthusiastic response from the Tokyo crowd. Well,
that's my standard of drawing, I have to admit. I am not a drawer, and I could pull out something like that.
Who's that meant to be?
I can only guess.
Can't be Enho, can it? Look nothing like him.
I can only guess that is Enho, that he looks out in the crowd, he sees his little group of supporters there, he sees that picture and he goes, thank you for giving it a shot.
I'm sorry, I had to stop talking when that came on the screen. It was like it was looking deep into my soul and predicting the date of my death, which for a simple line drawing, a powerful testament to art. Enho coming into this bout today on 2 and 1. At Makushita 10, still has a little bit of work to do before he can get back to Juryo, but great to see Enho starting to turn things around, starting to string together some good tournaments. And a win today would certainly make week 2 a bit easier for him. He
looks very sleek and well manicured today. Have I just not seen him for a while? I mean, I saw him in person in March. That was quite the moment, but it went past so fast I couldn't see what was going on there. He looks fantastic.
I think the conditioning is it's almost perfect for Enho. Looking strong, looking to be carrying a little bit of weight.
Yeah.
Allow him to generate some momentum coming forward. And he will need that today against his opponent, Asahakuryu, at Makushita 8, coming in on that same score of 2 and 1.
I'm not afraid to stare Enho down. He's not put off by the famousness of this man. Little Makushita stare off. between Enho and Asahakuryu, both on 2 and 1, coming into this bout on Nakabi.
Let's see what Enho can do here against his bigger opponent. Much like any other day of sumo for him, really, though, isn't it?
All right. Well, a bit of mucking around from Asahakuryu. Doesn't want to go. Doesn't want to start this bout off. Wants to really thrill the crowd with as much preliminary tactics as possible.
I don't like Asahakuryu mucking about and trying to play mind games. Just get on with the sumo.
I know.
You know what I mean?
He does look bigger, Enho.
Well, I just think he's looking like he's carrying a little bit more weight than...
The thighs are chunky.
As version 1. I'm calling this Enho version 2.
I think his eyebrows are done as well. In Enho version 2. Here we go.
Oh, hang on
no.
a second. What was wrong with that? Just confusion in the crowd. No idea what's going on. What was wrong with that? Are they going to call that a mata?
I believe that has been called a mata. There's confusion on Enho's face, and fair enough as he realises he just gave away...
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
The technique that he did win with.
Well, true.
I guess he can't do that again. The pull forward with the arm. It was an excellent technique against this big guy blundering forward.
I think Enho will have to try a similar gamut here. Went underneath. Yeah, a little bit more conservative here. I think he's got the front hand on the belt. Yeah, but Asahakuryu that time just staying low, staying wide and bodied Enho out. That's a great pity. I'm sure we won't see a replay of that match that was pulled up.
No.
Because I think what that will show us is that the Gyoji made a mistake.
I wonder whether that Gyoji's out of sumo now. That's it. We just never see him again.
He'd go straight to the officers out the back of Kokugikan and start drafting that resignation letter. That was absolutely disgraceful sumo administration.
Well, we are across the board, I think, gunning for Enho to get back to the paid ranks. You know, that one more basho that we need from him to be able to keep him in the sport forever.
Absolutely.
To be able to lock him into the JSA and throw away the key. Everybody wants it. We don't want to be able to miss out on seeing Enho for the rest of our lives.
I think there was one person out on the doyo who didn't want to see that.
Yeah, just doesn't like Enho, and I guess fair enough.
Yeah.
That was really confusing and really annoying to start off the day. So let's move on to the next bout. The second last of Makushita, Nishoru. He's undefeated so far, 3-0, up against the great Takento, who's also 3-0. So this is a very important bout here.
Oh, this is good to see Takento finding some form again. And this is our second last Makushita bout. Before we get into, I nearly said the top division, the second top division
Feels
of Juryo.
like top division.
Certainly does. A couple of Takento fans in the house at the Kokugikan in Tokyo. Takento, I mean, the first thing that your eyes go to are those huge sideburns that he's been growing in, and squared those off nicely. But also the big leg brace on the left knee of Takento
held up by
there.
paper mache. But as you said, nicely square. Just good girth on the sideburns.
Never thought about him having that angle in his sumo.
And they look really wispy too.
Oh, I think they're firm and grown in. I think it's looking good as he presents the belly. Very long one there for Takento. Doing the full preparation down at Makushita. Now it's Takento attacking, but good response from Nishoru. Takento continuing, but Nishoru keeps finding a better position in the doyo. But that strong right hand belt grip is matched by Takento, and they move back towards the middle of the doyo. With the crowd light up, they know they're seeing top class sumo. Wow, big right hand throw from Nishoru out of nowhere.
Just felt himself in the right position, activated the shoulder and pulled Takento over in a lovely uwatanage, I have to say. That's his Kachikoshi. Nishoru, unbeaten so far, 4-0. He is at Makushita 8. So let me take a little look up the top of Makushita on 4 wins already. And Sumo DB hasn't really updated today. It doesn't need to. So I'm going to give you probably a half view into the 4 wins, 0 losses. But we have on Makushita 3 Otsuji. We've seen him in Juryo previously. Very exciting to watch. Didn't succeed, but it looks like he will be going back. We also have Gojinyu, Goshima, Kotsu Tsubasa, Gyotoku, and Nishoru, as we just saw.
A lot of new names in there. I see them as new friends. Madola saying, imagine if we look back in 2028 and that was the one bout that made the difference for Enho.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah.
I nearly said it out loud and I was like, I don't want to manifest it into being, but I was thinking exactly that. The 2-2 start here in Natsu, and that was the end.
Welcome to the chat, Annie. Look
Annie,
forward to
hello.
seeing you next Sunday down
Yeah.
in freezing cold Melbourne. And
go.
hello, Oddball from Hawaii. So great to have you joining us today. We're not underway with Juryo yet. This is our final bout in Makushita before we move in to the reason that we're here, the Juryo division. But our final bout in Makushita is Satoru Fuji and Inami. Satoru Fuji at Makushita 7 is coming in on 1 win.
Family in the house.
1 loss.
Maybe. Inami is 24 years old from Onoebeya at Makushita 9. And so far in Natsu, he is 1 and 2. This is his highest rank since he came into sumo at Maizumo in January 2024. Pushing some kids around in the car park. He's gone straight up. Every single one of this guy on your screens, Basho, has been his top rank. No
On
Makakoshi is what that means.
I like it. I like it. Well, Satoru Fuji's from Isuno Hama. Bear. And they go, well, Inami on the retreat straight out of the Tachio. That is not honouring his Oyakata.
No, he's about to retire. Isagahama.
Isagahama, yep.
So he turns, we saw him on the NHK broadcast yesterday. He's about to retire because he's about to turn 65. He turned 65 in between this basho and the next one.
Well, in the weeks leading up to Nagoya Basho, he will turn 65, and that's the age where you must retire. He doesn't look like he's ready to go, old Isagahama.
Well, it's always hard to tell with him. Is he entirely sick of sumo with every fibre of his being, or is he loving being in the powerful position that he is, essentially owning Isagahama, Beya and Miyagi Beya, and controlling everyone's lives within? Well, not for much longer.
He is a hard man to read indeed. Welcome to the chat, Justine. Hello,
hey,
thanks
Justine.
for joining us. Malin from Finland. Hello.
Oh, how cool.
Power Howls from Alaska. Wow.
I
So
love where
cool.
everyone's from.
So cool to have
Dr.
everyone
Quack.
here today.
Did you say hi to Dr. Quack?
Oh,
already?
no, I don't think I did.
Oh, I
Hello,
wanted to do
Dr.
the
Quack.
double hi.
Okay, well, that's it for Makushita. We are now moving into Juryo. We have some very, very exciting bouts coming up today. Happy Nakabi if you've just joined us. What a present to get on day one. We have Mtoriu up against Ishizaki.
Yes, that's what we got in our stocking. Got up nice and early. Peered inside the stocking, and to start off with, there was a delightful bout between Mtoriu and Ishizaki. Ishizaki, the brother of Asahakuryu.
Yeah, their heads look quite different, but from the neck down, they look identical.
That's right. And actually, if you take away the hair as well, the middle of the face is kind of similar, which I believe they call the features, the facial features.
Justine reminding us that Isagahama's ready for his next career as a singer. Did you see his anchor duets record?
Did I? I stuck my face. I got someone to Photoshop my face onto the face of the woman because he looked really good.
Did you check the music out?
I listened to a few of them.
That's pretty dire.
He can sing though.
He can sing.
I'm going to look that up. It was a lovely Photoshop job.
Hello, Scott. Welcome to the chat. Great question. With Isagahama's retirement, will Hakuho get his hair back? Very interesting question. I can't answer that. I think a lot of people would love to see Miyagano Oyakata come back. Looks like we're about ready to get underway.
Mtoriu coming into this on 3 and 4 at Juryo 12. He's never fought Ishizaki before, and I feel like he's about to get the bout of his life. Ishizaki trying to get that Kachikoshi to take him up to Juryo, his Makushita 4. And he comes forward low and carefully, gets the left hand on. But Mtoriu has the right hand on. I think that's dangerous. Ishizaki here just undoes Mitoriu's belt. And I wonder whether they're going to stop this bout. They don't. Mtoriu keeps powering forward. Ishizaki, geez, putting all those muscles to good use, but it's Mtoriu who flips him down. An interesting bout to start us off today. A little bit of wardrobe malfunction and another loss for Ishizaki.
Another loss for Ishizaki. Yeah, he's 3-2 now. Does feel a little bit unfair coming up against the solid wall that is Mtoriu today, but good to see Ishizaki giving it his everything in this bout today. Well, it was a risky gambit going on the belt against a much, much bigger opponent. I don't mind the strategy of trying to take the belt apart, though.
That's right.
Like unwrapping a Nakabi present, trying to see what's underneath, see what Father Hakaku has in store.
And what a gift what's underneath for Mtoriu.
Well, it was unfortunately more belt.
Unfortunately?
Well, yeah, fortunately it was more belt.
We don't want anybody to be nude on the doyo today. Mtoriu wasn't. He did pick up this win. Good news for him. Look, Ishizaki, I just want him to get to Juryo. Basically, last time he was at Makushita 1, he went 3 and 4. He lost his last bout to get that Makakoshi. Didn't go up to Juryo then. This is his next chance, and I just hope he gets there.
Oh, the signs are looking good despite that loss today. Have we said hello to Matt yet in the chat?
Hey, Matt.
Hey, Matt. Thanks for hanging out.
How are you?
So good to have you here.
Lovely.
The next bout that we have for you today is Kazakeno up against Diamami. Kazakeno at Juryo 11, 4 and 3, coming into Nakabi, this middle day of the Natsu basho. Kazakeno, of course, this is his second, I should say it's his third basho in Juryo, but second in this campaign. Did go 8 and 7 at Juryo 13 back in March, and now 4 and 3 at Juryo 11, his highest rank.
The camera focusing here on Mudhor. He's proved to be very popular as he came out for the Juryo Doyo Iri. Everybody cheered and clapped him, so one of the brothers of Oho enjoying some increased fame here in Natsu basho. The opponent of Kazakeno, Diamami, Juryo 13. He's 2 and 5 so far. Was it yesterday he won and it was a great win?
I'm going to say, yesterday made me think there's hope for Diamami.
Hatsuyama, that's right.
Yeah, a powerful win. Hatsuyama fighting extremely hard. I think you'd say, if you are honest, that Diamami's long-term future in Juryo is probably hanging in the balance. So it's good to see him come back. Good to see him get that win against an up-and-comer in Hatsuyama yesterday. But he certainly has his work cut out for him today in this match against Kazakeno.
Still plenty of fans, Diamami. The discussion in the chat about the heaviest Ricochet, that's so interesting. So Tsurugishaw's up there. Mtoriu's up there. Shonanomi, of course, because he's not huge, but he's so tall and so solid and big. Diamami'd have to be up there as well, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think they might be ready to go here. Kazakeno on the left of your screen. Diamami on the right.
Got a black eye, Kazakeno, the left eye, I think. Not as bad as Hitoshi's.
We'll see him.
Hitoshi.
Yeah, we'll see him coming up in a few bouts' time. We'll unpack that eye. Diamami with that significant Terminator-style knee brace there. More machine than man today. Hopefully he can take that attitude into his mental game here. Kazakeno a long way off the white line, suggesting that he's going to try to hit Diamami hard. Kazakeno comes forward. Diamami looking for the front of the belt, but Kazakeno attacking high. Diamami patiently working away here, trying to slow this one down a bit. Kazakeno, I think the energy that we saw the start had slowed down a little bit, but just powered Diamami back and gave him one to go on with the non-consensual meet and greet.
No need for that.
No, but I'm sure thrilling the front two rows there. Doesn't look like a man who's so much in the mood for a Q&A.
Well, at least he didn't get his butt patted about 20 times like we saw poor old Takayasu get the other day when he was thrust off the doyo. So Diamami coming forward powerfully here with the right arm, but Kazakeno got in close. Diamami, he did rebound. Look, he's looking okay. He's looking fairly strong. That leg is working. It is pushing him forward. But there he went for the pull, and Kazakeno took full advantage. In the chat, the call that Kazakeno looks like Gonoyama, but without the hair.
Shaved Gonoyama.
I agree, he does.
That's hilarious.
Unknown brothers.
Well, the next bout.
Yes.
Tohakuryu up
Well.
against Miyanokaze. Tohakuryu coming in to this bout on 6-1. He has had a breakout first week from Juryo 10, been absolutely steamrolling the competition, only dropping that one bout on day 3 against Shiden. He's beat some good opponents, even though he has been fighting down towards the bottom of the Juryo Banzuke. Nabatame, Mtoriu, Mita, Oshumi, Gishaw. He's doing okay. He's looking his wily best, yes. Tohakuryu.
He hadn't had a start this this good for a couple of years. Really feeling himself here. I mean, there's been the pulls, there's been the moving backward, but there's also been good sumo buried in there. You have to say it. He is lithe, he's supple, he does jump around a lot, and he's got the wins. His opponent, Miyanokaze. I think we're still in the first basho with the name change, so I am allowed to keep reminding people that it's Miyagi. And when I remind people, I remind myself.
And you're reminding me, and I appreciate that. Thank you. Well, Mita walking out, getting ready for his bout. He has Oshumi today.
Lost yesterday, bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it was a surprise loss.
So Miyanokaze, he's 3-4, Juryo 13. Had a difficult start, only picked up his first win on day 4, I think, because I remember he had his Juryo interview and was still 0-3. Yes, win on day 4 against Diamami, handing out a couple of shiraboshi to people in need. Miyanokaze was in need, and he's gone on to win 2 more. He's beaten Dewanoryu, mentioned in the chat before, Makushita 2, and Tsurugisho. And now up today against Tohakuryu. Please be careful with him, Tohakuryu.
Well, one thing I think we can say for certain is that Tohakuryu will not be careful. A man known for his complete disregard for the safety of his opponents.
Hakuyozan style.
We've seen Tohakuryu have one appearance in Makuuchi back in November 2023. At Maegashira 15, he bombed out. He went 5-10. I'll never forget that. It looked like the bright lights were just too much for him. And he settled back in Juryo. Has been languishing towards the bottom of the Banzuke, though, over recent basho. But what we're seeing today is what he's capable of for sure.
Miyanokaze looking like the weight of the world is on those very broad shoulders. I want him to relax. I want him to enjoy Juryo. I know it's difficult to fight every day and to have to be so colourful each and every day, but you can do it. Needs to watch really carefully at the tachi here for any tricks that his opponent Tohakuryu is going to attempt.
Exactly, and what will he attempt? It will be something funny.
Don't commit too much on that tachi. He's back a long way, Tohakuryu. I'm scared of that. Will he go straight forward? All right, the tension relieved here.
I was about to say, you could cut the tension with a knife. The crowd are just on the edge of their seats looking forward to this one. You could hear a pin drop in the kokugikan.
All Tohakuryu's friends and family here today, perhaps just heavily invested in this young man's future. And he's got a talented opponent to overcome today on his quest for the Juryo Yusho at Juryo 10. All right, let's go, boys. It's time to get on with Juryo. Miyanokaze and low, he is smaller, and it's a slap fest here. They both slapped each other, and Miyanokaze said, that's enough of that, powered forward and got Tohakuryu out. I love that.
Well, I did appreciate Miyanokaze giving Tohakuryu a little bit of a glance as he went into the third row. Tohakuryu woke up today, chose violence. We'll see on the replay here. Miyanokaze had an awkward touchy-eye. Felt like he didn't time it properly. Copped a couple in the face. Didn't care. Let his sumo do the talking today.
I mean, the slap is definitely in Tohakuryu's arsenal. But, geez, he wound up with that right hand there. Not sure it was entirely necessary. It sent him off balance. And it stopped him doing anything else that would have been really useful to win in that bout. He ends up on 6 and 2 at Juryo 10. Miyanokaze 4 and 4 at Juryo 13. Let's go.
All right, the next two rikishi that we have up on the doyo for your Nakabi viewing pleasure, we have Mudhor up against Hatsuyama. Mudhor, the 23-year-old, the younger brother
yes.
of Oho. There is an older brother, apparently.
Where is he? He is Sandanme 4, and he's 2 and 2.
Okay, good for him. Mudhor making his Juryo debut this basho in at Juryo 14 is coming in on 4 and 3. Lost yesterday to Kazakeno, as we said. That was a bit of a surprise loss for Mudhor. And today he's up against the Prince of Darkness, Hatsuyama.
Hatsuyama is 2 and 5. When Hatsuyama is doing really well, there's a wormhole that develops. There's a portal to oblivion because he looks so sad all the time that when he achieves success, it's just very confusing. But today he's had 5 losses in a row. So
oh, okay. He's got something to look sad about for
checks
once.
out.
Completely agree with Dr. Quack in the chat that Mudhor looks older than Oho. I described Mudhor as Oho if he'd been forced to drive trucks for a living.
Yeah.
He's got the weathered look of a man who's seen a lot of freeway, a lot of highway driving, a lot of truck stop food.
Yep. A little bit of rough sleeping.
Oh no, you'd have a nice little cabin.
Nice cabin out the back.
In the truck.
That always seems quite cozy, the truck cabin, I think.
I'm sure it's horrific. Don't want to think too much about the realities of truck life.
Look, Hatsuyama, he does have something to be happy about. He's at his highest rank of Juryo 10. This is his third basho in Juryo. Came in at 12, went to 13, sad. Went 8 and 7, went up to 10. But not finding the success quite yet. And here he's getting absolutely stared down by Mudhor.
Okay, Hatsuyama down, ready for some sumo. Hatsuyama attacking the neck of Mudhor, but it doesn't bother him. He powers forward and takes Hatsuyama over the Tawara. Powerful sumo as a young man screams into the void. Loves what Mudhor has to offer. A great win for him today.
And a beautiful, beautiful mawashi colour. It is, I guess you would call it, if you were basic, a dark green. But doesn't it have volume? Doesn't it have levels?
It's dark emerald.
It's beautiful. Every time I see it on a different screen, it looks different.
We saw the replay there. Very comprehensive performance from Mudhor today, taking him to 5 and 3 with that Oshi-dashi win.
Viridian, that's right. I knew
Viridian.
I knew you were in the chat, Dr. Quack, for
Thank
us
you.
to get out the colour palette, to get out the paint swatches, and to let us know what colour that was. See, it's not the same here as Mita's colour, just before we get into this bout. It's more complex. It's the Viridian. Here we have the dark green, and it's still beautiful on this young man who is doing so well. He's 5-2 at Juryo 14. Very, very popular rikishi, and up against a difficult opponent today in Oshumi.
I tell you what, Oshumi at Juryo 9 has 4 wins in a row coming into today. A bit of a shaky start for him, dropping 2 of his first 3 days, but Oshumi has righted the ship. The good ship Oshumi is... I don't know if it's coming into port or steaming out of port. I think it's going out of port, but it's going into the deep ocean, and it's trawling the white dots with the net. 5-2 for Oshumi. I think this will be a very interesting affair.
I think so too.
It's their first time meeting, which makes a lot of sense. Mita with his rapid ascension into Juryo. Both rikishi bring a lot of intensity to their bouts. Oshumi, a technician, so many tricks up the sleeve, in the cargo hold of the boat.
Let's take this to its conclusion. The waves will not sink this ship.
He's dropping anchor.
The mast is steady and the sails are full. And what besets ships in the deep ocean? Because that's what Mita is today. Geez, I love his shikono, I just have to say, because I can read it. I know I'm the basic one now, but every time I see it, I'm just like, do not change it.
Mita, one of the few rikishi going around with an N5 set of kanji for his name.
Ichiyamamoto, thank you. Mita, I also thank you.
It's so good.
Mita only been in sumo since September 2024. He came in through the Makushita Tsukedashi system. He went 6-1 straight away, and he's never disgraced himself with a Makakoshi. And here he comes in wanting to beat this great sailing ship. He comes forward and he's pushed immediately back by Oshumi, but he comes back strongly. The thrusting start, Tsupari from Oshumi, Tsupari from Mita. They're shoving each other. Zoom out, please, Obama. I want to see what's happening here. Oshumi lands on the belt with the right hand. Mita clamps the elbows down. We've seen this from Isagahama Rikishi a lot, but here it is from a Futagayama guy. He's clamped down. Oshumi finds it hard to do anything here, so they settle down, both leaning on each other. Oshumi tries to push forward again, but Mita, the hair is wild now. The hair is everywhere. He's trying to stand Oshumi up and then pull him down. He doesn't go down, and Oshumi takes advantage of that to push forward. That's a win for Oshumi.
Happy Nakabi, everyone. What a gift that bout was. We saw everything.
Wow.
Sumo so good that it made the Abema camera operator crash zoom in the middle of it, trying to really get a shot of that Tsupari attack. Wow, Oshumi showed so much sumo in that bout. You can see why he's on this win run now. I want to see this replay. It was all Oshumi early. Mita forced back, and then we just see this series of high attacks here. Mita able to just lift the attacks up a little bit so they weren't connecting, and then we saw this very interesting lockup here. Oshumi transitioning from the Tsupari attacks into a belt hold with ease. Mita, this was the right defensive play here.
That's right. I think it did stop Oshumi doing anything for a little while. Also, the loose belt was useful here for Mita. Oshumi was trying to lift him up, but he couldn't. But that did provide the opening for that win there. Well, just when we're all watching this together, all screaming for sumo together, what a sport.
It doesn't get much better than that. Oshumi, the victor today, and moving to 6-2.
Oh, I love that for him. Oshumi 6-2 at Juryo 9. We're just going to skip the ads for one moment. We will come back. Mita, that is 5-3 for him. at Juryo 14, and perhaps you would expect, Matt, I see you in the chat saying how strong Mita is. Perhaps you would expect him here to come up against a few of the really good Juryo guys and struggle. I don't think we have to worry because he is just so strong and talented.
Absolutely.
He'll come back. But I love seeing him taken to the edge. I love seeing him challenged. It's not as interesting perhaps when someone just blows through and is too strong for everyone else. I like the challenge.
Mita is just making this division so much more rich by his presence. Love it. Hopefully we see him here for a few more basho before he leaves us.
Yes.
It does feel inevitable, but so good to have him here at the moment.
A good point from Defaults. Lovely to have you here in the chat. Welcome. Thank you so much. Mita's training with Nabatame in Futagayama has conditioned his face for Tsupari. You have to think that is
that's
true.
A very interesting point.
Very good. He's like, you want to throw this at me? I can take it.
I see this Monday to Friday.
Yeah. Nabatame won't stop it. Even when we're not training, he's whacking my face.
All right, the next two that we have on the doyo, Shimi no Umi up against Gishaw. Shimi no Umi coming into this bout with the solitary 1 win. He's 1 win, 6 losses, only picking up a win on... Well, my internet is very slow.
My internet's slow too.
On day 3
I'm worried.
Against Caesar.
If we disappear, everyone,
yeah.
This is Australian internet in the rain, because as soon as it starts to rain, Australian internet struggles. I don't know.
Didn't put that together.
Don't know why.
We are getting a crystal clear feed from Japan, though, so that's good news. It's just that normal websites aren't loading good. Shimi no Umi's opponent today, Gishaw, coming in on 3 and 4 as we take a sensual pan up the body. We are ready to go. Here we get the double sensual pan.
Lovely.
Shimi no Umi on the left of your screen. Down first, they attack. Gishaw tries to slap a left hand on the belt.
Bye-bye.
Whiffed it and got taken out. Now, I wonder whether Shimi no Umi wasn't wondering whether that was going to be pulled up.
Well, I think... Let's watch that, because it looked like Gishaw didn't want to fight today and thought that Shimi no Umi was going to come back at him.
Well, he missed the left-hand belt grip there, and then he was in a bad spot.
I think Shimi no Umi has some feelings about how Gishaw's body is going, you know. I don't think he enjoys seeing the big guy in pain. Have I read too much into that?
Perhaps.
I am reading deep.
Yeah, that was very strange as we hear the dulcet tones of Kunio just over-egging the vocal performance again. Okay, well, the crowd are excited because they get to see their boy, Shiden, fight today up against... Who's this? Nabatame. We've seen Shiden day after day. This basho with blood streaming from his head. Yep.
It comes from somewhere up in the hair too. The injury is hidden, and so when it comes out, it is so dramatic. It's like a horror movie where the blood is coming from, the demon points of the body or something.
I think we saw yesterday, he only got a light tap on it and it just started spilling blood. It was a very, very quick bout yesterday.
It's like the Enho wound, but hidden within the hair. Thanks, Dave. Dave Foltz. Awesome. Lovely to meet you. And we have a podcast as well, actually. It's called Sumo Mainichi as well. We like to keep the same name. We do a podcast for every day of the basho, and we've just hit 600 episodes. Kay, thanks for the congratulations. Feels like a lot and nothing at the same time. It's our joy and pleasure to do it, but it's also been many years.
Yep, it's a joy, it's a pleasure, it's a burden.
These are the times we love doing Juryo, hanging out and talking about Juryo with all you legends.
All right, Nabatame at Juryo 12 is coming in on 5 and 2. Did lose yesterday to Makushita visitor Otsuji. Now, Otsuji is... Look, I mean, he's Makushita 3, but we know he's a quality Rikishi. He has been in Juryo before. Well, he was in Juryo back in March and he went out 5 and 10, but I think he will be a more regular Juryo participant, I would say.
He really goes for it. He's got a lot of energy, Otsuji. It's really fun to watch.
Yes.
Go around, which is what we want. Oh, I love these two signs. The Nabatame towel. Why have I never seen that? And then just write it on a spiral-bound notebook.
You can tell the person who wasn't organised in that
what
couple.
have I got at home? Love, what have I got?
Well, I don't think it's what have I got at home. It's like, what have I got in my bag?
What have I got in my bag?
I've got a notepad and a dream.
Hey, Powerhouse, thanks. That's so nice listening to the podcast. We would love to do this every day throughout Makuuchi as well.
Yeah.
It would be very fun.
That's
Just
the
need
dream.
To tell our jobs. We'll tell them on Monday.
Yep. That we'd still like the money to come in.
Yeah, if we could still be paid and just do this. Yes, they made the brave choice to not simply share that towel. You didn't bring your towel. You just write it on a piece of paper. I'm sorry, it's my towel. I bought it. Here we have Nabatame up against Shiden. Nabatame 5 and 2, Shiden 3 and 4. Nabatame down first. The right paw touching the ground. Shiden springs forward, wraps the arms around Nabatame's body. There is no time for Tsupari here because he's immediately taken back and over. Shiden not in the mood for losing today.
Well, Shiden's head. No blood. That says so much about this clash today. This was vintage Shiden.
Yeah, it was
so quick, so smart. He understands what Nabatame can do if he's given some space, and look what he does straight out of the touchy-eye. Gets in close, gets on the body. Nabatame, this is not where he's very good.
Was Shiden in this chat? Because I think he was reminded about the power of Nabatame's Tsupari there and just thought, I'm going to come out with my own right hand slap and then I'm going to get in close. You can see the humidity today, actually. A lot of sweaty fellows. What did you say the humidity was?
79%.
Yeah, wow. Hot.
Yep.
Getting hot in Japan. We saw a picture yesterday released of the new Nagoya Stadium, IG Arena. It looks massive.
It feels a little bit too general purpose for my liking, but I haven't seen it in the sumo configuration yet, so I will save my judgment.
It's kind of set up at the moment with a big space in the middle for basketball or something like that.
Well, here we see the first of Kotoeho's Shiko pointing the sole of his foot up to heaven as if to say, we miss you, Kirino Fuji.
Take a whiff of that, was going to be fine.
Okay, well, I went for the spiritual path. Kotoeho thrilling the crowd with his pre-match preparations.
I saw, was it Dr. Quack say before that Abema loved to get really close in on Kotoeho's feet so that when he starts the Shiko, you can't see it and you kind of miss half of it while they crash zoom out. So today maybe they've heard that and at least we've seen one each side in the preparation time.
Can I just say, I think it's very easy to sit back here and for us to judge the camera operators at Abema, but if you actually think back to when you did work experience, it can be very, very difficult. So I think these kids are doing a fantastic job.
Do you know I did work experience at the place I work right now?
At the ABC?
Yeah, at ABC Classic.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't think I ever knew that.
Yeah.
Damn, what a success story.
So that's how well I did it at work experience.
Yeah.
Hakuyo-san on the other side. Yeah, all right.
They're going for the extra wide.
Yeah. They stuffed that one. Hakuyo-san is the opponent here of Kotoeho.
Well, could not have said it better.
Talk for itself.
I mean, took the words right out of my mouth.
Hakuyo-san 3 and 4 at Juryo 4. He's been doing sumo. Hakuyo-san. He's a big fellow. He's 182 kilograms. Right up there with the best.
Interestingly, they've fought 2 times before and both have gone Kotoeho's way. Kotoeho giving up a lot in terms of size and height. but he certainly is a tenacious Rikishi. He's fast, he's strong. What can he do against Hakuyozan today? Kotoeho down, comes forward, but Hakuyozan bundles him up. Kotoeho looking low, he's in trouble. Back towards the Tuara, spins around, grabs the arm, puts the right hand on the belt. That is perfect sumo from Kotoeho today.
Got one thing to say. Kotoeho! I can't do it as well as that guy, but we are embracing the spirit of that man, calling out Kotoeho's name. He's a champion. I've gone too far there, but I think he's fantastic. He was very strong here. Coming forward, trying for the Maimawashi grip. And able to just slip around the back of Hakuyozan there. Barely even noticed. One side he was there. One moment he was there. Got on the belt.
Just a man in charge of his sumo faculties, Kotoeho. So great to see. Caleb, welcome.
Caleb, hello.
Thank you so much for dropping by. We're just going to take it.
Caleb, thank you for your lovely message today. It's really lovely. A lot of great messages coming in around the 600th episode of the podcast. We're really thrilled to have such excellent listeners and such excellent friends to watch and talk about sumo with. So thank you.
So we've just got some ads at the moment. We can preview the next bout. Takara Fuji up against Tomokaze.
Takara Fuji. I've got big feelings around this, but I'm trying not to. You know, when you don't really let your mind engage, your mind just glances off it every time because you can't let yourself feel.
Oh, you're just describing my life.
That went deep.
Well, Takara Fuji at Juryo 3, he's coming in on 2 and 5. This is not going to be a quick and easy return for him to the top division.
No, and we've seen the one, actually we haven't talked about this, but we've seen one one retirement of a fantastic, much-loved, wonderful Rikishi in Hokuto Fuji already this time around. I don't want to always speak about Takara Fuji retiring, but I have to prep myself. I have to get their mind to engage. He's 2 and 5 here. Up against Tomokaze, definitely stands a chance here. Both defensive Rikishi.
Well, Tomokaze has impressed me in this first week with his attack.
That's right. Why would I say Tomokaze is a defensive Rikishi? He has to come forward.
He often, true. We see him have success when he can come forward, but he's used to fighting on the back foot.
Yes.
But Tomokaze has been going extra hard in the first week. It's making me forget about all of the controversies from a few months ago. What controversies? And today, they come into this on 5 and 2 head-to-head Takara Fuji's way. A little bit of history between these two.
Yeah, they fought enough times. I mean, remember Tomokaze was up in Makuuchi for a fair while. Encountered Takara Fuji in the mid-bottom Maegashira ranks. We were just having a look back on Hokuto Fuji's career the other day. Went back, 6 years or so, and that was when it was. And the amount of names that were in that Banzuke that have now retired.
Yeah.
You know, Tochinoshin, Aoyama. Why would I start a list?
Yeah,
that is the thing that my mind just doesn't do lists. All the other good ones. And Tomokaze is still around, and that's to his credit.
Well, Tomokaze is surprisingly young. I want to say that he is, I know our internet's running a little slow, so I can't tell you exactly, but I want to say 32 years old. He is 30 years old, even younger than I thought.
It's very young. Look, Takara Fuji's body has kept the conditioning. Still got the power thighs. The elbow braces are on like most of the Isagahama Rikishi. Keeping those elbows contained so they don't flop everywhere. But he's still looking very powerful. Just can't convert it quite into wins. Maybe he will today. He's down eons before Tomokaze. Comes forward carefully. Tomokaze out with the arms, trying to hold Takarafuji up. Takarafuji thrusts him aside and it works. Tomokaze falls down. He's looking, I think, to the Shimpan to see whether there's going to be a mono-e from Takarafuji stepping out, but there isn't. Takarafuji win.
Yeah, Takarafuji weathering the storm there and riding the Tawara, I think the replay will show. I thought it was worth a look from Tomokaze, and I can see why he was a little disappointed. This was an excellent opening from him. Just hard-working sumo, pushing on the chest. Takarafuji giving a lot of ground, but beautiful move there. Takarafuji spinning away,
Yeah, he
slapping down.
He barely even pushed down at all, didn't he? He just kind of did spin away, as you said, and evaporated the space. So a clever win, I think, there for him. Hey, Pelicanesis. Thank you for watching. Where are you in Australia? We are in Melbourne.
Yeah, we're in Melbourne. We're in the northern suburbs of Melbourne. All right, this next bout that we have for you, Juryo 6, Daisei-san up against Juryo 3, Shirokuma. This is their first time meeting. You are seeing history in the making today. Daisei-san coming in on 4 wins and 3 losses. Shirokuma 3 wins and 4 losses. Shirokuma, I feel, in that stage of his career where he's working out where he needs to be. Is he the top of Juryo? Is he the bottom of Makushita? Not Makushita, Makuuchi. He's certainly not the top of, or the bottom of Makushita. What am I saying?
No, that would be a disaster. The last time he was at there, it was back in 2023, so that's good news for him. He's really top upper Juryo, lower Maegashira ranks at the moment. But I would have expected him to come back down to Juryo after March and wreck a bit more.
Absolutely.
3 and 4 is not perhaps where I'd expect him to be on Nakabi.
Still settling. Shirokuma, no doubt about it. Daisei-san at Juryo 6, that's his highest rank. We are in uncharted territory, and he's doing quite well here. 4 wins and 3 losses. Is it a Rashio Bear?
Yes.
He's from the inner Mongolia / China region of the world.
A little bit overshadowed, perhaps, by the brothers.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he's in there representing in the Sekitori ranks. I don't know that he gets the props he deserves, Daisei-san, but he's doing his best in that stable, I'm sure.
Well, a very, very solid Rikishi, and you do get the sense with Daisei-san that you're seeing him mature right in front of your eyes. Sumo getting better, basho after basho. Shirokuma, I'm sure we'll take some shots of some homemade merch very, very soon.
Some kids with
little white polar bear plushies or homemade signs. But Shirokuma has his work cut out for him today. There's one. Not a kid. But the white polar bear motif featuring very prominently on that sign.
That's lovely.
The Gyoji points the gunbai forward and slightly up. Looks like we are ready to go. Daisei-san comes forward. Shirokuma bundles him up, gets under the body and throws, but I think Daisei-san stayed up.
I wasn't sure what happened there.
Daisei-san straight
Jaunty.
back. Jaunty.
I think he thought he'd lost, because as he turned around, he saw that he'd won. He was like, I'm hopping back up.
Very crisp return to his position there as we take the replay.
No mono-e Shirokuma. Got Daisei-san really up in the air here, and he was forced into this throw. Daisei-san, and it worked. It just happened that Shirokuma went down before he hopped out with the left foot. But sure, we don't want to take a look at that.
Well, the Kubinage win there, so the neck throw given for Daisei-san.
Ouch.
I mean, that was reflex sumo. That's the kind of thing that you can't really learn. It's just years and years of sumo experience imprinted on your DNA. Well, we're going to see Hiranumi up next against Hitoshi. Now, I think the big talking point is going to be the state of Hitoshi's right eye. It's an absolute mess.
It is a biome of its own at this point. It's really coexisting on the face with the rest of Hitoshi here. I don't like to look at it.
Well, it's
Oh,
improved.
it looks better. No, it looks better.
Because I think he did it day 2, right?
Day 2, yeah.
Day 2. I think on day 3 they had 2 pieces of tape running vertically.
Yeah,
as if to tape the eye open. Clockwork Orange style. Look at the
That's what
sumo.
I was thinking. With the matchsticks. The commentators on that day were saying, can he see? Can he see?
You don't need to see.
Poor old Hitoshi, because the last time he was in Juryo, his face got busted up as well. And at that point I think there were cuts. I think there was another eye issue, perhaps even the same eye. So that was back in 2023, November. Feels like just yesterday. But as soon as he comes back into Juryo again, this is his second basho in Juryo now in a row, but he gets the smack. His eye is just a magnet for smacks.
Well, he's a rikishi who commits the head at the tachi eye, no doubt about it.
He comes from the same stable as Daisho, so maybe in the same spirit as Mita training with Nabatame, Hitoshi is keen to get the head in there like Daisho.
Yeah, the head can be a powerful defensive tool.
Should it be?
It shouldn't
Should
be,
it be? Oh, guys, look after yourself.
So, a lot of people have been stopping me in the street wanting to talk about Inami, Juryo too.
Yeah.
He's snaked his way back to the top of
Well,
Juryo.
this is what I thought you might be mentioning.
He's 5-2 coming into the middle day, Nakabi, of this basho. He looks to be in very, very good touch, and he's doing that style of sumo where it feels like it's all coming together, like he's not having to try too hard to do what he does. And that's the sumo, I mean, that's the old Hinumi.
He has not been in Makuuchi since January 2022.
Wow.
But he could be angling here, literally, for a return. Here against Hitoshi on Nakabi. The fingers flickering of both these Rikishi Hitoshi. Wants to go down and they can't.
Well, I think we got a hint there with Hitoshi leading with the head.
Yes.
It's his secret weapon.
I mean, by all means at this point, lead with the head, but tilt it the other way. Although if he gets that on both eyes, he won't be able to see. They're down again. A quick reset. And they slam together. Hitoshi going straight for the pull down off the tachi eye, and it works. He gets Hinumi down, face into the dirt.
Yeah, Hitoshi showing a mature head on his shoulders, handling the enthusiastic tachi eye from Hinumi. Well, I think for Hitoshi to get that fourth win without having to commit the eye socket too much to that bout, it's good news. We see the replay here. Shoulder blast from Hinumi and a quick step to the left. And a solid hand on the back of the neck. Wow, was he up late last night thinking about that one?
I think so, maybe. And yes, Dr. Quack, that's right. When he dropped out of Makuuchi Hinumi, it was because of the gambling scandal. And he hasn't been able to get back ever since. Yes.
But we do need to be clear that he wasn't match fixing sumo.
No. Oh, no.
He was just having a little bet on the baseball with a few mates. It's harmless fun.
Was it?
Harmless fun. It was baseball.
Was it?
I think so, yeah.
And he wasn't meant to, and he wasn't meant to be going out.
No.
And he was.
No.
And it may or may not have been with Shiden from memory as well.
Was
anyway,
it?
he didn't.
Yeah, okay.
He was much lower then, so he didn't get as much in trouble. Anyway, sumo scandals, we love to hate them.
We love to ignore them mostly.
Mostly we try to.
Because if you think too much about them,
it's very
makes me
confusing.
sad.
It's very confusing. We don't like it. We are into the... so Hinumi 5-3, Hitoshi 4-4 at Juryo 6, Nishiki Fuji. Gosh, here's a question mark. A big one hanging out above his head. What's going on with him? He's up against Fujisei on today, who's coming into today also on 2-5.
Yeah, Nishiki Fuji having an absolute nightmare first week. He's 2-5. He's got 4 losses in a row. after falling back to Juryo 5 from Maegashira 13, of course, going Kyujo on day 2 of March, sitting out the rest of the tournament there, but not setting the world on fire.
No.
And not able to translate his experience in the top division into Juryo. This is not what I was expecting to see. Does suggest to me that the injury that had him sitting out in March is still plaguing him. He doesn't look to be moving freely, not expressing himself through sumo. What have you got to say, son?
Well, we wrote to him with a few questions, and it's a bit disappointing. It's been quiet.
The fax machine has been very quiet from the Nishiki Fuji camp.
So it doesn't look like they want input there, but we'll let you know as soon as we get a response. On the other side, Fuji Seiyun, also not going well. He's at his highest rank of Juryo 2 here, and he is down first in this bout.
Okay, Nishiki Fuji comes forward, but Fuji Seiyun dips the head. Nishiki Fuji working around the Tawara. He stays up long enough to send Fuji Seiyun down. Good win for Nishiki Fuji.
He circled around the outside. He flicked Fuji Seiyun away. Some good quick movement that didn't require the double elbows bandaged. I saw in the chat, just confirmation that being in Ishiaki means your elbows are blasted away for a variety of reasons. Fuji Seiyun came out so strong here. Nishiki Fuji was in so much trouble, and it really did come down to that quick movement, crab-like around the side of the bales. Great movement from him. Fuji Seiyun, I think he got... he was hard done by there.
Well, he did the work, but you have to do something special to overcome that Ishiaki polish that Nishiki Fuji demonstrated there as Koji steps down after calling this one.
Good work. Nice voice. Didn't try to steal the spotlight.
Nope.
We had Riki Nojo stealing the spotlight before. We had Kunio stealing the spotlight. Koji?
Just call it out. Sit down.
Mitakumi. Big sigh.
Well,
Kageyaki, big sigh as well.
These two have a fair bit to sigh about, you could say.
Yeah. I mean, we just have to sit down, understand that this is where these two are at. Mitakumi especially. Juryo 1, 3 and 4. Kageyaki has never beaten him. I don't know.
No, in 8 meetings.
8 meetings, that's right.
Yeah.
And I don't know what, for example, the Mitakumi fan club, which is so big and strong and so many people, I don't know what they expected when he got down to Juryo, but I can say that I expected him to do better than this.
Well, look, it's a slow burn. Mitakumi is no doubt a champion. 32 years old, 3 Yusho under his belt. The body's failing him a little bit, but he's got a very good and refined sumo mind. Can he dig himself out of this hole and get back to Makuuchi? I think that's the big question. But then the follow-up question to that has to be, what's his short-term, medium-term prospects of being able to stay in the top division?
Yeah, just because he has no tape on the body doesn't mean that there are troubles there. Some Rikishi seem to prefer not to tape up. You know, Endo's another one who seems to move through injury states, but it's not always clear what's going on. Some others have the tape, have the support braces and all of that. Yeah, the comfort tape. But Mitakumi has got nothing at the moment, but I don't think you can say that there's nothing wrong with the body. I think it's just been accumulated over quite a long time. Yeah, question in the chat. Chibi, hello, how are you? Do the Rikishi face each other if they're from the same stable? I can see that the question's already been answered by the great sumo minds in the chat. They don't, only in playoffs. So Wakamoto Haru doesn't fight Wakataka Kage. Hinumi doesn't fight Toizaru. Well, they're in separate divisions.
Gee, I'd love to see a Wakamoto Haru Wakataka Kage playoff one day, though.
Well, hang on. Hinumi and Tobizaru in different stables.
But you can't fight your brother.
You can't fight your brother, that's right. So there's 2 things here. Same stable, brothers. Why did I default to brothers? It's the same stable is the question. But I just immediately defaulted to brothers.
It's good for people to know.
It's because I'm thinking about Koto Shoho and Koto Eho a lot. coming into the same division. All right, we have Mitakumi and Kageaki here, 3-4 and 2-5. Coming forward, Kageaki with a tsupari, but Mitakumi withstands it and pushes him straight back. That's 9-0 between these two now.
Kageaki will never beat Mitakumi. Never.
Yeah, well, let's call it.
Yeah, let's call it now. Mitakumi, I mean, that's a confidence boost for him. 4-4 on day 8 now. 4 wins, 4 losses. He's essentially starting week 2 with a clean slate. 8 wins would guarantee return to the top division. If he can execute this fundamental sumo, using his weight, using his experience, maybe there's hope. But maybe I'm a dreamer.
Oh, be a dreamer.
Yeah.
Never give up the dream in sumo. It's always worth it. It's the final bout of Nakabi for Juryo. No, didn't that happen quickly?
That went very quick.
Let me give you a quick rundown of the leaderboard for Juryo. Oshumi and Tohakuryu have both fought today and are 6 wins. Kusano right now before fighting, he's the man on the right of your screen here, is 6 wins. So he can pull himself out 1 ahead today by winning against Waka Hikari. But gee, you wouldn't think you have, you think you have to work for it.
This is a beautiful piece of Nakabi programming, finishing off Juryo with an absolute classic. Waka Ikari up against Kusano. This is the first time that they will be facing each other. Are we seeing history in the making? Am I being too dramatic? Possibly.
You can never be too dramatic.
Waka Ikari, so many people excited about him. 20 years old from Isuno-Umibeya. At his highest rank of Juryo 5. After a bit of a slow start in Juryo from last year in November where he went 7 and 8. He has put good numbers up, and that's seen him rise to Juryo 5. Slow and steady, very fast, very exciting, and so much sumo to come from him.
He's so exciting to watch, as is Kusano at Juryo 1. It's absolutely a matter of time before we see Kusano Yokozuna. No, that's too much. That's too much hype.
Well, I think
he's
at least Sanyaku level.
Yes.
A lot of things have to go right to go to Ozeki and Yokozuna, but he is very, very good at the sport and cultural byproduct that is sumo.
I did enjoy him coming out on day 1 of Natsu and losing to Hinumi. Yeah. Now, I thought that was a great flex.
Classic.
It's just like, yeah, I'm not concerned.
Well, again, it's the generosity of his sumo to go, I've heard Hidenumi's on one. Let's start it off right for him with a white dot.
Yes.
And then
little gift.
Little day 1 gift.
And then I'm going to wreck.
And then I'm going to
get the Yusho. Like,
well, it's possible.
He will most likely. But what another great 2 people to be up there with Oshumi and, well, Tohakuryu.
They are ready. This is your final bout of Juryo. Waka Ikari down first. Kusano crashes into him, putting the pressure on. Waka Ikari tries to move around, but there's just not enough doyo for him to escape the raw power of Kusano.
We've been asking a question, who's going to stop Onosato? Have we answered it right here? Are the styles ripe for a matchup in the next, what would they have to be? 3 basho from now. You can see Kusano just come forward here with the elbow. He just keeps moving forward the same way Onosato does. No matter what you do, he's just there. He's moving forward and around and he's pushing you out.
Yeah, well, great things in the future for Kusano. That's it for the Juryo bouts for today. We're not far away from finishing this stream as the Makuuchi Rikishi come out. Thank you everyone for coming along today. If you're in Melbourne, we are doing our podcast live next Sunday. We'll put the sumo up on the big screen. We'll commentate, and then we just put that out as a podcast because we're a little bit lazy.
It's not being lazy. Such hard work.
No, it's a lot of hard work. Kale stepping up. Hey, he's not in the chalky yellow mawashi anymore, Kale.
Well,
the Kesha mawashi at the back of it, yeah.
I think he's still in the lemon, but we will see later
okay.
today, I suppose.
Well, the dude going up with the minimalist all brown Kesha mawashi is a brave move. Roga, the howling wolf motif, love it. Sudden Umi, the waves crashing onto Ito Island.
Lovely. Beautiful. I like the yellow mawashi too, Dr. Quack, the lemon. Oh, Shishi, he can work out what's going on and try and fix it for July, I'd say. Same with Short
cock on the front of his Kesha mawashi there. It's a male chicken, it's what it's called. Grow up, everyone. Hinumi with a bit more of an artistic pastel. Midori Fuji out there with very few white dots against his name. A number that is 0.
Damn.
Onokatsu taking a bit of tourism Osaka money there for the Osaka castle on the front of his Kesha mawashi. Tobizaru just with, well, I think they've got a little bit wrong. That looked like a gibbon, which is technically not a monkey.
You know that because...
They're different.
I won't say it.
Ichiyamamoto with the punk fish on the front.
I'm so enjoying your commentary on the Kesha mawashi.
I can't tell what Takeru Fuji is. It's like...
Is it one piece?
Not sure. Hirudumi. Crouching tiger fading into the pastel blue background.
Late stage hello to a few people. Kay Keth, hello. Thank you for coming.
Dr. Quack just calling me out. The monkey identification. Sometimes you've just got to be confident even if you're wrong.
Limbu Jimmy, hello. Muhammad, hello. It is so lovely to have everyone in the chat. Thank you so much. We're not going to keep going with this. We would love to devote our lives to commentating the Makuuchi division. But we do have a podcast called Sumo Mainichi that we do every day of every basho, and that's where we talk about that division. I'm sure all the action in the next week is going to be amazing. Huge. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, there's hopefully going to be a playoff between Hakuoho and Onosato on day 15. That's what I'm gunning for.
Okay. Thank you so much for joining us,
everyone.
We'll be here on day 14.
Yes, day 14.
So next Saturday, Australian time.
Friday night for others.
Yeah. We'll see you then.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.